This is Election Talk. Election Talk with attorney Carrie Harper on Radio Free 102.3 KJLH.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. If it's 0:30 and it's on Tuesday, then we're here at KGLH on Election Talk. I'm attorney Carrie Harper. Good morning, beautiful people. We are 7 days away from the most historical election ever. I'm so excited. I'm just outside myself excited right now. Can you tell, Dorian? Anyway. I'm excited, beautiful people, and there is so much going on. I want to cover a few hot topics before we get to the judicial picks. I know that we've been getting some calls here. We've been getting some calls in my office, definitely. Where are the picks? If you want to know the judicial picks that I've selected, you could go to my Instagram page, Harper, 4 Justice. It's the IG page, Harper, 4 Justice. But I'm going to go through quickly and just give the names of my judicial picks, and then later I'm going to go more in depth of why I picked these folks. In case you're just tuning in, you want to fill out your ballot really quick, but you don't want to listen to a whole hour. So I'm going to hop right in with seat number 39. I'm voting for George A. Turner Jr., who is a public defender in Los Angeles County. Seat 48, I'm voting for Erica J. Wiley, who is a public defender in Los Angeles County. Seat 97, I'm voting for Sharon Ransom, who is a deputy district attorney in Los Angeles County. Seat 135, I'm voting for Georgia Huerta, who is a deputy district attorney in Los Angeles County. And seat 137, I'm voting for Luz Herrera, who is a law professor and who's held a boatload of other positions in the county. And note, there are two seats that I switched from my primary endorsements. At the primaries, I was endorsing Lachey Henderson as opposed to Sharon Ransom. There's some things that kind of changed a little bit. I think both those candidates are wonderful selections. Lachey Henderson used to be a public defender and used to be part of the Defenders of Justice. And I'll get into that more, why the choice kind of switched. And with Luz Herrera, she had so much experience, and she used to work for Kamala Harris. She was a professor. She's done a lot of things. I think she's the more progressive choice. I liked Tracy Blunt, who works for the LA County Counsel's Office. She's a prosecutor in the Department of Children's Services. Word is that she's about to be appointed to judge. So in California, there are two ways to become a judge. Governor Gavin Newsom can appoint you to that judicial seat, or the wonderful voters can vote you into that seat. So if she's about to be appointed anyway, then why not get two? We'll get both her and Luz Herrera. I feel Luz Herrera is the more progressive person. So there are my judicial picks. Again, you can check it out on IG at Harper for Justice on the IG page. So with hot topics, I'm going to bring in an actual judge to talk with me a little bit about hot topics and about the judicial process. Sherry Thompson has been a deputy district attorney in San Diego County for a number of years. She has been a participant in the Earl B. Gilliam Bar Association. She volunteered so much, and she's mentored so many people. Actually, when I was in law school, you could always count on, if you're going to lunch with DA Sherry Thompson, you're going to get treated to lunch. And I was super poor in law school. I'm not ashamed to say that I was super poor in law school, and I love getting treated to lunch sometimes. But Sherry Thompson is so interesting because she is the daughter of Aloma Wright, who plays a judge on TV. So Sherry Thompson is actually a judge, but her mom plays a judge. Have you ever seen that movie Brothers with Bill Bellamy?
Yes.
Okay, and she's the mom who gives Bill Bellamy a hard time, and then she played a judge in Ally McBeal, I believe. And then most recently in Suits, she was one of the assistants. So it's a great little family dynamic. Good morning, Good morning, Judge Thompson. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, it's 0 dark 30. Did you stay up to make sure you made the call, or did you not go to bed?
Yeah, I stayed up all night. No, I went to sleep. I don't roll like that. But it is dark outside, and it's essentially me and the cat are the only people up in the house. Even the dog went back to bed. But for you.
Leave the dog alone. Come on. These cats. See, she got a cat and a dog household. Now, that's a balanced bench right there, isn't it?
It's balanced up in this joint, yes. And even though I was a prosecutor for, goodness gracious, a quarter of a century, my husband works in re-entry work, so we have really interesting debates about people and what their motivation is. And he works with individuals after they get out of prison and jail, helping them find housing and jobs with a group called Second Chance down here in San Diego. And so we are a balanced household up in here. Yeah.
I hear you. And you know what I forgot to mention with your mom? She was the pastor in Deliver Us from Eva. You know, when Gabrielle Union, she kind of pissed off that pastor because she was trying to tell the pastor how to preach. Your mom played the pastor, yeah. So
yeah, she was also in Scrubs on NBC. A lot of people know her. Her character, I think, was Laverne or Shirley. I can't remember because, there was a season where she died, and then, sorry, spoiler alert if you haven't finished Scrubs. But Scrubs. She was on there for about 7 or 8 years, and then she was in Suits for I think 7 seasons, maybe something like that. Days of Our Lives. She's a Mr. Deeds. She has a working woman. She's got a good work ethic, Aloma Wright.
Between her and Jennifer Lewis, we have the auntie and mama section covered in all of Black TV. Basically, it's either her or Jennifer Lewis.
It's true. And I'm proud to say that, all those ladies, they are good friends. They really support each other, and I love it. I'm here for it.
Okay, and she wasn't willing to wake up at 0 dark 30, but I still love her.
She has stuff to do, okay? She is not like me. I'll get up.
And
she's
so,
like, look, y'all.
Right, and I wasn't even going to call again and ask her and pull her number out of storage because I didn't want to get cussed out because she is that character that, no, I'm just kidding.
All I can say is when she declines, she declines.
Listen, you heard us talking about the judicial selection. Isn't it the weirdest thing, the way the judges get picked? When you're running for election, you can choose what seat you want to run in if you're a judge candidate, and you can pick a seat that has, all public defenders if you're a DA, or you could pick a seat that has a sole practitioner and you think your title will be better. Do you think that maybe the people in charge of elections should balance it out and maybe put them in like one of those things they use for bingo and pull the names out and then they're running against whoever's picked? I don't.
Well, that's an interesting idea, actually, because I feel like most people don't even know. Like sometimes, it's all about timing, and so some people want to put their name in right away as soon as it opens. Other people want to wait till the last moment so they can, see if anybody else put their name in. And then sometimes, they're just looking for a seat. And in San Diego, I can tell you, most people don't run against a sitting judge. They want to wait until a seat opens up. Mm-hmm. And so we have a lot fewer seats here than they do in Los Angeles. And it seems to me, I'm always surprised, like, oh, no one's running against that person, or 4 people are running in that one, but only 1 or 2 people are running in the other one. And so I've always wondered, like, people do they Google the name of the person and see what their presence is? Or, a lot of times if it's a commissioner who's running for the role, people won't run against the sitting commissioner. People are doing their own math to try and figure out, who am I going to run against, and who has resources, who has political clout, who has, community involvement. I think all of those things go into deciding who you're going to run against.
Yeah, I think having somebody run unopposed is just not democratic. We had Victor Avila here. Nothing against Victor Avila. He got the luck of the draw, I guess. No one ran against him, so he didn't have to go through any of the vetting that the other candidates had to go through. At the tail end, a gutsy move by Natasha Kamashka. I'm probably butchered that last name. Sorry, Natasha. But Natasha K was a write-in candidate, and that has low percentage of succeeding. But at least she gave it a try, because you shouldn't have somebody get to judge just because they went and signed up. They didn't have to do anything else but sign up, and nobody ran against them. And then we have to pick between Sharon Ransom and Lachey Henderson when they both would make great judges. Why isn't one of them in that category? Because that category had about 6 people in it during the primaries.
Yeah, it's tough. We definitely have races down here where there are 2 people who are running, and they're both solid. They both can do the job, and it's tough. That's all I can say. Is I agree with you.
Yeah. Hey, have you looked at any of the current news? Yesterday and last night, they were showing 2 ballot boxes that got burned up. I think in Portland, Oregon, it's a very liberal.
That.
Those are all Democratic ballots voting for Kamala Harris, and now they're burned up.
I was not happy about that. I was like, I would be very angry if someone burnt the mailbox or the ballot box by my house or wherever the ballot box is. I didn't even finish the news story, okay? I saw the ballot box burning, and I was like, what?
Right.
That is not right.
All hands on deck, all police officers, somebody should be manning those ballot boxes instead of doing pretextual stops on black folks. Not that all cops do it, but sometimes. But instead of pulling somebody over for a no license plate, they should go ahead and go sit at a ballot box. I mean, some of us get pulled over for no license plate on their car. I'm not talking about me.
I'm not gonna comment, but
they're gonna run a 28 if I put a license plate on my car. I don't want my plate getting ran. Give me the infraction ticket. I don't want you running me while I'm driving. But anyway, I'm not advocating no license plate on a car. If you're rolling dirty, you need to have a license plate on the back of the car. So, the ballot box situation. What do you think?
Where are the ballot boxes? You know what? I need to find out more because I don't actually know.
And why are they made out of flammable material? That's the question. Are they made out of wood? Is it stagecoaches going to pick the ballots up? Why can't they make it out of the material that the post office box is made out of, that metal? How are you going to burn metal? Why can't a ballot box even be burned up? That's what I'm wondering.
I have to tell you that when I dropped my ballot in the mail, you know how, like in the old school mailbox, you could pull down the lever, you drop your mail in there. Girl, now it's just like a little slit because people are so
firebombing it, right?
That you can't even open the drawer anymore to put mail in there. So
and it can't be of any thickness. It has to be really thin to get the regular letters in the mailbox. So I want to know what Portland, Oregon is doing. If there's anybody from Portland, Oregon, we'd love to know how you guys' ballot boxes are. You can call in KGLH at 310-520-KGLH, 310-520-5554. We're taking calls. I see a few calls. I see you. Looks like candidate Charlotte Headley, and I see you, James Farr. But yeah, so with regard to the ballots being burned up, I'm just wondering if people are being told to...
I don't know how many ballot boxes there are, Carrie, so I don't know if it's really realistic to put a police officer next to every ballot box. Okay,
I'm just feeling that way because we need every vote. I'm feeling that way. I'm feeling a little anxiety with third-party candidates. I'm feeling anxiety if any single vote is left. I'm just feeling that way because we're gonna have to deal with him with 2 more judicial picks. I mean, forget practicing law. We're gonna have to get another career because this guy is going to have every single judge on the bench if he gets in again. Clarence Thomas is ancient. It's time for him to go. And there's one more. Who's the other older person that's, I don't know. Anyway, I shouldn't worry that
Judge
much
Thompson
about it.
cannot comment once again.
Oh, that's right. My bad. I forgot.
Once again, I cannot offer any comments in that area. You may not know this, but judges, we are not really allowed to have a public political position. Can't put yard signs out on your yard.
Oh, wow.
Can't take a stance really on anything that could come before you as a Superior Court judge. And so, I gotta let your comments be your comments.
I hear you. That pesky Canon 5, is it? All right. Well, I'll let that part go. You want to talk a couple of propositions? We were chatting about the propositions here. Did you review any of those, or I'm going to take that as a no, don't ask me about that, Carrie.
Okay, yeah. Well, I did vote, but I have to say,
don't say
like
it.
Many of you.
Don't say what you told me. I forgot you told me. Don't say it. I'm going to bring James Farr.
Yeah, I cannot give you any advice on the proposition.
All right.
Personally or professionally.
Okay. And don't say the reason, because that was kind of funny.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
Also, who I see on the line, James Farr is the host of Conversation Live in Pasadena. He does a lot of profile reporting and not so high profile reporting. He covers things in the black media and elsewhere. He works for LA Progressive. He's a friend of mine and a friend of the station. Good morning, James Farr. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. All right. Well, James is working it out. While James is working it out, I want to take the opportunity to offer to any candidate that's running for anything, if they want to call in and get 2 minutes to say why they should be elected to the respective position that they're trying to get to, feel free to call in at KGLH, 310-520-KGLH. I do see Charlotte Hindi Newbill. Good morning, Miss Newbill. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Blessed and highly favored. I hear you're running for LA School Board.
Yes, I am. I am running for the Los Angeles Unified School Board here in District 1, and proud to be an alum of LA Unified School District as well.
All right. Well, you got your 2 minutes starting. Tell the listeners why they should vote for you in District 1 for LA Unified School Board.
Well, because I am a candidate who has been vested in this community for decades. For about 25 years, I've worked at Dorsey High School, which I'm a proud alum, and to be able to share that I have worn many hats at that institution, and being able to be someone who is in the community for the community and also have vested interest in the community. I have 2 sons who are part of the district as well, and I bring a wealth of experience to the seat, not only as a community member, but as someone who has been vested as an educator. And so, candidate in me, you get someone who's going to be your voice, who is willing to champion for our students and making sure that their voice is being heard. And so as someone who is a child of immigrant parents, I kind of check the box for many of our constituents in this board district. So a vote for Charlotte Hindi Newbill is going to be a vote for a voice of many experiences and valued viewpoints from more areas than one. So that's kind of how I got here and kind of why I want to continue to serve in this community.
Charlotte Hindi Newbill just made the case for her being elected to Los Angeles Unified School District. Dorsey High, we beat them in softball when I played. I won when I did a head first slide in the home plate. I'm not bragging, but we beat y'all. I'm just...
It's all good. But I'm sure in basketball we got y'all.
I think that you did. You need... Yeah. Yeah, we got smacked around a lot.
Yes.
Well, thank you so
And
much.
I coached as well, too.
Did you? You coached basketball?
I was also a coach. I sure did. I started as a coach and ended my career there as the dean and athletic director.
Wow,
And
basketball.
So,
I kind of use basketball to get in shape for softball. It was just too much running. It's just all you do is run back and forth. Softball, you can run to a base, have a beer, have some sunflower seeds. Anyway.
Yes, and also I just want to let them know that Dr. George McKenna, the seat in which I'm taking, is one who has endorsed me to do this run as well. And so he's very legendary to this community and to education. So many may know, may not know, but he is retiring. Mm-hmm. And so that was one of the other reasons why, I stepped up to do this, because to fill those big shoes as well, because Dr. George McKenna has been legendary to our community.
Yes, and he's a very sweet person. I've had the opportunity to meet him several times. So I would definitely lead with that, because he's given you his stamp of approval. Then you should be a shoo-in, because he's served the community well. So thank you so much for calling in.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Okay, and I think, we'll come back to James Farr. I think it's time for our mid-time break. So we're going to take a little break. I'm Carrie Harper. We're here at Election Talk. Feel free to call in, 310-520-KGLH. At Election Talk, KGLH 102.3, because we are you.
102.3 Radio Free, KJLH.
Looking for a local spot with great food and even better vibes? Visit Rusty Pot Cafe in Inglewood. Whether you're craving their signature fried chicken and waffles, a classic shrimp and grits, or a light avocado toast, Rusty Pot Cafe has something for everyone. Breakfast is served all day, so you can enjoy pancakes, omelets, and more, whatever you want. For lunch, try their famous Big Breakfast Burger, fresh chicken Caesar wrap, or crispy fried catfish. Everything is made fresh and served just the way you like it. Rusty Pot Cafe is open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can dine in at 324 South Market Street in Inglewood or order online at rustypotcafe.com. Rusty Pot Cafe, where delicious comfort food meets great service and good vibes. Again, 324 South Market Street in Inglewood or order online at rustypotcafe.com.
Or call in at 310-412-5901. That's 310-412-5901. Call in today.
Rusty Pot Cafe in Inglewood.
Macy's Friends and Family is going on right now, and it's the best time to shop for all the gatherings and gifting ahead. Use your coupon or Macy's card and take an extra 30% off the latest trends, new arrivals, and the best brands like Karl Lagerfeld Paris, Steve Madden, Hotel Collection, and more. And get 15% off beauty, too. Plus, get free shipping with any $25 purchase today at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Uh-huh.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Halloween's coming alive at Target. Jackie and Gordy, the Jack-O-Lanterns, here with last chance Halloween deals. Looks like Mom's got the old pumpkin bucket stocked with the best candy, starting at $5.99.
Lucky pumpkin bucket. Oh, there's Dad party planning with a same-day delivery order.
Yes, it's a BOGO 50% off pizza party with Target Circle. Plus, buy 3, save 40% on soda 12 packs with Target Circle.
Nice saves, Dad.
Make your Halloween come alive at Target. Need it last minute? Get same-day delivery with Target Circle 360. Restrictions apply.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Johnson. After a 2-year search, my husband and I were determined to find the perfect contractor for our home improvement project. Our home is nearly 100 years old. It was falling apart, and I was in desperate need of a complete remodel. So we decided to call Jerome's SoCal Home Improvement. Initially, we were just looking for an estimate, but what we got was so much more. Jerome's attention to detail and his crew's exceptional work was amazing. They did a complete home retrofit and a lifetime exterior coating. We are beyond satisfied. Finally, we can rest easy knowing that our house is protected from any future damage. We highly recommend Jerome SoCal Home Improvement to anyone in need of top-notch home improvement services.
For 100% financing, call Jerome.
Call Jerome SoCal Home Improvement and ask for me, Jerome, 844-534-7336, 844-534-7336, or log on to YouKnowMeJerome.com.
You're listening to Election Talk with Attorney Kerry Harper on Radio Free 102.3 KJLH.
Hello. I'm Kerry Harper, and we're back at it. Election Talk, 0 Dark 30. Hey, I would like to invite on the line, I think we got the phone cleared up, Mr. James Farr. Good morning, James.
Good morning, Kerry. How are you?
Blessed and highly favored. How you doing?
You know what? I'm sitting here waiting on the sun, and I'm trying to get it lit so everybody can have some sunshine today with all this bad news and the election talk and stuff. So
Bad news. Bad news. 4 months ago, we were daytime drinking after Joe Biden's debate with Donald Trump. I think we're okay now. I mean, hey.
Well, I mean, let's hope so. You know, come the 6th, 7th, or whenever this thing is resolved, that folks either return to daytime drinking because they're celebrating, and hopefully they're not because it's not a certain way. But there's a bit of over exaggeration about the postal boxes, the voting boxes. It has happened, but it's not like it's kind of being reported. It's not this rampant thing. And if you want to suppress votes, put a police officer next to a ballot box and see if I turn my ballot in.
That is a good. That's an interesting point.
Don't you repeat that.
That's an interesting point. But speaking of coming to that week, it's a week before the election, and usually we only do Tuesdays, but we will be broadcasting on Wednesday because we want to broadcast good news. So this Wednesday and next Wednesday. So tomorrow we're going to have Judge Kevin Ross on, Boss Ross. He's straight out of a magazine or some casting call thing. I mean, I'm like, seriously, you expect people to take you serious? You should be a model somewhere. They're not going to be able to. You can't send anybody.
Well, I think he's very informed and does a great show. I haven't noticed any of that stuff that you talked about. But go ahead.
Any old-fashioned way. He will be in person in studio tomorrow, Wednesday, and then we are going to be back at it next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll be on Tammy Mack in the daytime. I'll actually be able to see daytime on this Thursday and Friday. So we're going to do the judges and some of the propositions in the daytime with Miss Tammy Mack on her show between 3 and 6. 3 and 7. Okay, I'll have to be out before 6. So I'm saying 3. If you want to catch me, I'm not going to be there after 6. Any old-fashioned way. But I still have Judge Sherry Thompson. Judge Thompson, let me ask you this. Are you there still?
Here.
Now, I know you can't comment on what you would do because we've recently had DA George Gascon saying that he is going to make a request for the Menendez brothers to get resentenced, right?
Yes, that's what I heard.
You can't. You're just waiting to see if I'm at. You can't say what you would do, but can you tell the listeners usually what you consider in a generic resentencing that is before you?
Well, I wish I could, but I am currently a family law judge. I was a criminal judge for about 2 years. The factors that would go into resentencing are long, and I don't want to talk too much about what's going on with Menendez. I haven't even watched the Netflix show. I know I'm like the only person on earth who hasn't watched it.
No, you're not. I started it. I started some of it. And from what I'm seeing is that a lot of times what they consider in the resentencing is has the person been rehabilitated? Are there remote?
I imagine age. Age is going to play into it. What kind of history they have, whether they have prior criminal history, whether there was some kind of abuse, whether that be sexual abuse, child abuse, whether there's probably substance abuse, age at the time of the crime.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, that's a big factor because they were both under the age of 26 when they brutally killed their parents while they were sleeping. And a lot of studies are showing that the brain stem isn't fully developed at such a young age. So a lot of folks are getting resentenced because of the whole brain stem.
There's been a change in the law, too, I believe, for people under the age of 26.
Right. Yes, that's what D.A. Gascon was saying as well. Well, listen, Judge Thompson, I know you got to get on the bench, and I really thank you so much for calling in this morning. I appreciate you 1,000 times. Anything you want to say in closing?
Well, I do want to say thank you for doing this. This is a real service. I mean, judicial elections are not covered really by the media, and most people don't know who to vote for. They don't know how to figure it out. They talk to lawyers that they know if they know lawyers. But I mean, I know when I was a young person, I didn't really know any lawyers. I didn't know anybody growing up was a lawyer. So you just had to kind of figure it out on your own. And so I appreciate you're out here trying to help people, get them informed, help them make the decision, and that's a service that you're providing to your community. And I think it's so important, and I'm so proud of you for your work.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for what you do, too. I appreciate you. So you have a great morning. James, back to you. James, back to you a little bit. I did the judicial picks. I can already guess which ones that you're voting differently.
You think you can guess?
I think so.
I think what you're doing, Carrie, to echo the judge's point, is you're informing the audience. You even informed me. So don't. I haven't cast my ballot yet. Don't write me off. It's a lot of things are still up for me to consider, except for the top of the ticket. So
okay,
but yeah.
So yeah, you think I'm going to fall into that and talk about the top of the ticket? I'm not doing it. I'm going to give every doctor and professor a hug, but I do not want any Jill Steining or Ralph Nadering in this election. So going back to the judges, seat 39. I picked George A. Turner Jr., very bright, great energy. When he came to the studio, he's like this gentle giant. And he was graduated cum laude from his school. He's very passionate. He works to get folks their records expunged. Similar to it was the division that now Judge Holly Hancock is in. You remember a public defender, Holly Hancock, was the first public defender to be elected, and then Patrick Hare is also a public defender, and he was elected last time. So George A. Turner is in that same section. I like Steve Napolitano, his opponent that he's running against. He came in, he did a lot of work for the county. He did a lot of work in the South Bay area, and in some say he had a little bit to do with the Bruce's Beach situation. I didn't read that as much, but he worked in that area of town. I just feel that George was the better choice, and he'll be there and be more progressive than kind of a governmental man in that situation.
And I'm glad you raised that up, the idea of progressive, prosecutors, progressive judges, progressive DAs. That's where I'm really looking for some guidance from you and someone like a Professor Jody Armour because again, the average person, we hardly ever see a judge, right? Or if we're lucky, we should never want to see a judge.
Right.
And so we're not familiar with, court proceedings. I mean, I've sat through a trial earlier this year. I've sat through federal trials, and who's on that bench?
Let's talk about that trial. I think that trial is the one you sat in. That was Judge Birdsong with Dr. Melina Abdullah, who was swatted by LAPD, right?
That is correct.
I
yes.
did come in that. And do you see how, even though the judge is not on the jury, when the judge puts his or her thumb on the scale and says, okay, we're going to oversaturate the courtroom with deputies and make Dr. Melina Abdullah look like she's a criminal as opposed to a plaintiff in a civil rights case. That was a judge decision to have her surrounded by deputies. That was a judge decision to have everyone that came in feel like they were also criminals because they were in the audience. The judges set the tone. So that's why I always say it's all about the judges. Yes, you have a jury, but the jury follows the lead of the of the person who is in charge in the courtroom. So
absolutely. I mean, in sports they may call it the 13th man or 12th man or whatever, but in a courtroom, I mean, I've had the privilege of seeing it where a judge is fair, right, and kind of referees just calls the balls and strikes at the federal level. But you say put their thumb on the scale. I mean, this was a full-on theatrical performance, right? That at some point, and I was there every day, all 9 days, I said, well, maybe we are a danger to somebody, right? Because there has to be a reason that he is, saturated the courtroom.
A lot of times the reason is, I hate to interrupt you there, a lot of times the reason might be is that they've predetermined what they feel the outcome should be. And sometimes they really steer the jury that way. I hate to say it. I don't know that this happened in this case. I've never been actually I have been in front of Judge Birdsong, and I've also litigated against him when he was a partner at Ivy McNeil and Wyatt. I won. But anyway, I'm just saying that, yeah, they can put the finger on the scale, and it may not be the most fair thing in the world. What were you saying, James?
Absolutely. No, I'm coming into this conversation with that lens of, I didn't pass the bar. I've never sat on a bench. I understand some things procedurally. Of course, look into police events, but the court is a whole different thing. So we really rely on people like you, Carrie, in this service that you're doing at 0 Dark 30 to help inform us, because that's the one that we all just kind of look at, like, well, who are these people and how do you get to be a judge? So it's important to hear your voice, because we disagree on some important things, but I think we agree in this space. So I'm you make your argument for me. Why should I look at your picks?
Okay. Well, thank you. And I'm still not going to go to the top of the ticket and let you do it. So we'll keep on the judges, James. You're not going to Jill Stein me. So I tell you, I did pray over this.
Can we at least say that I am not voting for Donald Trump? So I don't want your audience to think that
you are.
No, I'm not.
When you vote for a third-party candidate, it's a vote for Donald Trump. Make no bones about it. Anybody who's peeved off and thinks that Kamala Harris hasn't jumped high enough, even though Donald Trump is down in the dirt, anybody that thinks that what is she doing for me or what has she done, even though Donald Trump has done the opposite, if you're voting for anyone other than somebody in the Democratic or Republican Party, you're voting for Donald Trump if you vote for a third-party candidate. You might love the professor, you might love the doctor, but you're voting for Trump if you vote for them, because the third-party candidate does not have a chance to win. All they have a chance of doing is making it harder for Kamala Harris to win, not Donald Trump to win. Period. End of story. Hard stop.
We will see. We will see.
And if she loses by that, if she loses by that 1,700 votes that the third party candidate got, or she loses by a couple thousand votes, and Kamala Harris gets Jill Stein, meaning Hillary Clinton got Jill Stein, and we never would have had a Trump if it wasn't for Jill Stein. These third party candidates cost the Democrats the nomination. Period. So suck it up and push the ballot and deal with the stuff after she gets in office. Okay, don't have
now, counselor. Let's talk about these judges. Although you're being intellectually dishonest, there's no data or evidence.
We're going to start doing the 7. There we go. I had to let Dorian do some fine technical work. James, I love you, but I'm not going to be able to let you do what you're doing just now. I'm going to keep saying it. Let me say it again for the people in the back. If you vote for a third-party candidate, you're voting for Trump, period. And anybody who's saying, I'm only telling people who are in California to vote for this third-party team, I don't want you to listen to me if you're out of California. That's not a good thing to say because people have relatives in other states. So it's not the time to make a statement and vote for a third-party candidate. It's all hands on deck. You don't realize the severity of Project 2025. You don't realize that people will be in dire straits if certain folks get in office. So if you want to stay home, that's not a good thing either, because staying home is giving up your vote so that you make it easier for Trump. So, all right, we can bring James on back up and go on to seat number 97. Seat number 97, James, it was difficult for me. I went for Lachey Henderson at the primaries. She was a public defender, but it looks like she stopped being a public defender in January 2023, not January 2024, which is what I originally thought. She was originally one of the Defenders of Justice, you know, that group of public defenders who bound together and they just, they bum rushed the election. They took it by the horns and got 2 folks elected, and I think that was great. I love her story, her energy. She's a wonderful person, but I say that she should have sucked it up and stuck it out in the position for which her ballot designation says she's doing. So you're saying...
What do you mean by... help me understand. What do you mean by that?
Her ballot designation says deputy public defender. However, she hasn't been a deputy public defender for almost 2 years.
Okay, and so why is that problematic for you? I mean, she hasn't been obviously working in that position the last 2 years, but why is that problem? Well, is that her last professional career or her last job listing?
Well, she's
or how she self-identifies?
She's currently, you can self-identify however you want, but if you're running for judge, you need to tell the people what you're currently doing now. Don't tell me what you did 10, 20 years ago or 2 years ago. What are you doing now? And to me, it seems like the proper designation should be adjunct professor. If you're an adjunct professor at Pepperdine University, then put adjunct professor. Luz Herrera is an adjunct professor. She's not putting on her ballot designation her title when she worked for Kamala Harris, although that might get her a lot more votes. She's not doing that. She's saying what her current profession is. So and it was already close already. So when you jump the shark and you move out of that career that you've been in for 18 years and you don't tell the people why you did it, really, it's just, I wanted to change. It's like, keep the real job and then leave that profession when you get hired to judge or elected to judge. That's just my personal opinion. Anyone disagrees with me and they vote for Lachey Henderson, I think that she would be a wonderful addition to the bench. I just think Sharon Ransom has done the work. She's gutted the South. This is her second run. She was 18 years as a dispatcher, which means she knows the doo-doo that the deputies step in. She may not talk about it, but she knows what they can be. She knows what time it is with that, and I think she's going to do the right thing to balance the balls and the strikes and not lean. So my worry is that when they're coming and they're a prosecutor, that they're leaning so far over for the prosecutor side. But I think that she's going to get in there and be fair. She's seen everything in 3D and heard it on the 911 call, and she knows what the deputies are doing behind the scenes. So her antenna are going to be up. I think that the bench will be safe with her on it. I'm picking Sharon Ransom for seat 97. As for seat 135, Georgia Huerta versus Stephen Yee Mack. These are two deputy DAs. And there's some folks who say, I'm not going to vote for a DA for judge. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to write in the public defender. So you're throwing away your vote, just like third-party candidates are throwing away their vote when you write in, because it's very difficult. Unless you can get 1 million people to write in that name, you're kind of throwing away your vote. I think Georgia Huerta, she's been throwing down in the Compton courts. Very sweet person, very even-keeled. Just seems like she would do the right thing and really take great care with the judgments that she's pronouncing over folks. So I'm voting for her for that. And seat 137, I did switch this one. Who were you looking at with 137, James?
I'm still undecided. I know you're selecting Herrera, right? The law professor.
Yeah, because she's done so many different things, and she's the progressive choice to me. Tracy Blunt is a fine choice. L.A. County Counsel. She's a prosecutor at the Department of Children and Family Services. It's not that we don't need another prosecutor, which we kind of really don't need another prosecutor, but she's getting ready to get from the streets have it that she's getting ready to be nominated to the bench anyway with George Gasco or with Gavin Newsom. So I think that in that case, we definitely don't want to lose Herrera. She's the more progressive choice. She's done things in all areas of the law, and that's who I'm choosing. What are your thoughts, James?
Let me ask you a question here. So all your picks, have all of them been on Election Talk? Can we go back and listen to them and hear their interviews to kind of get my own take? That's what I wanted to do this weekend, was really look at the judges. I'm pretty good on propositions and where I'm at and the other elections. But is this available on the podcast?
Okay, so all of the interviews are available on KGLH and on my YouTube channel. My first name is spelled Caree. So if you go to Carrie Harper YouTube, we have all of the judicial candidates, their interviews there, and pictures of them and their seat number and the date that they gave the interview. So, yeah, I went back and I listened to some of them. And some made a more impactful impression, and I didn't need to re-listen to those. But I did go back and listen, and that's how I came to it.
Okay, yeah, because that's what I'm going to do over this weekend. Because I'm one of those. I like to take my ballot to the polls and put it in the box. If not actually vote there, I also intend to take my son with me. I've taken my daughter with me over the years, because I want to get them involved and understand the importance of, electoral politics and voting. So, while folks disagree on candidates, it still is important that everybody vote, right? And I you may disagree. I respect those who choose not to vote, right? I think that's your right as well. I won't disparage them.
Yeah, and we hope folks vote because, there's so many people, like I was saying. I think I may have said that privately to you, or I may have even said it on air. My grandmama was from Hazelhurst, Mississippi, and some of the madness that she had to go through just to be able to vote was to answer questions like, how many bubbles are in a bar of soap? And then you see, if you look on the internet or any social media, you see folks who had to pay a poll tax of $2. Mm-hmm. If you only made $2 in a week and you had to pay that to vote, I mean, these folks, there's blood on that ballot that people bled to be able to vote. And so I hear you saying you respect folks' right not to vote. But to me, I think voting should be a requirement, just like jury duty. Jury duty and voting, those are the two most important civic things you can do. And if you're staying home when people have bled for your right to vote, then you say you don't care about your ancestors' blood, period. You can respect them for doing that. And yes, that's their right. But I'm not really with all that in any old-fashioned way. I'm going to go on to the DA excuse me, the DA pick. We had both Nathan Hockman, who's the challenger, and George Gascon in studio for interviews. And I'm voting for DA George Gascon. I'm voting for DA George Gascon because he was elected after saying what he was going to do. He got in, and on the first day, he did what he said he was going to do. A lot of folks will say, yeah, but he was like a bull in a china shop. Well, did all the china get broken? Did the good stuff get broken, or is it still intact? I say the good stuff is still intact. Yeah, he might have ruffled a few feathers, but let the man finish his job. Let him do what he was elected to do. That's my position. Also, it's some interesting reading. If anybody wants to read up on DA challenger Nathan Hockman, he is the owner of Los Angeles Sheriff's Foundation. And if you Google Los Angeles Sheriff's Foundation, their mission statement says, we are an independent nonprofit organization whose main objective is to support the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department through training, education, community outreach, deputy wellness and safety equipment, state-of-the-art technology, and other vitally needed resources and programs. Principal officer is David Hockman. And the ruling year, I guess the year started, was 2020. That was the year that George Gascon was elected into office, I believe. So this guy was, what is he doing? Are you going to hold the sheriffs accountable while you're the chairman in charge of the Los Angeles Sheriff's Foundation? He's gotten all of the sheriff's endorsement. Well, I wonder why, because he's pumping money into the sheriff's department.
Absolutely. In addition to just about every other agency in our 88 cities or municipalities within LA County. Yeah, going back to DA Gascon, back in 2020, I interviewed him and the current DA at the time, Jackie Lacey. And, you know, Gascon came out as a result of the rebellion and the uprising and the confluence of all of the things that was happening in 2020.
You're right. You're actually right. James, let's talk about it on the other side. We have to take a quick 30-second break. We're here at Election Talk, KJLH.
102.3 Radio Free, KJLH.
102.3 Radio Free KJLH sends a heartfelt thank you to the countless supporters who made this year's Taste of Soul truly unforgettable. We also extend major appreciation to the incredible artists who brought the energy to the KJLH music stage. Presented by Amazon Access. You brought the fire, the passion, and the soul. A huge thank you to the incredible partners, Amazon Access, Delete the Divide, and Chevrolet for making this event possible. We also want to thank all of our sponsors. We couldn't have done it without you. To everyone who joined us, you are the heart of our community, and your love is what makes events like this happen. Special thanks to our sponsors: LA County Aim Prevention Initiative, LA County ISD Rideshare Program, Electrifies, LA Care Health Plan, and Card Pros Kia. Family, get ready. The 20th anniversary of Taste of Soul is coming in 2025, and it's going to be legendary. We can't wait to celebrate with you again. Much love from your family. 102.3 Radio Free, KJLH.
I am sick and tired of getting the runaround from the dealer about my Lexus. I feel like I'm always being overcharged for my car repairs.
You should try Lex Service. They're a full-service repair and maintenance shop that specializes in Japanese vehicles, just like yours. Lex Service provides 5-star service and much better prices than dealerships. And they're conveniently located right here in the South Bay.
Lex Service, experts in Lexus, Toyota, Acura, Honda, Infiniti, and more.
I trust them. They have amazing Yelp reviews, and they treat you like family. Give them a call.
It sounds like you really trust them.
Yeah, I do. The reason Lex Service works for me is they've always provided honest advice about my vehicles and never treat me differently just because I'm a woman.
Call them today at 310-517-0294. Ask about their $49.99 minor maintenance service.
Contact these guys by texting the word Lexus to 313131. That's right. Text the word Lexus to 313131. If you want to call, it's 310-517-0294.
Macy's Friends and Family is going on right now, and it's the best time to shop for all the gatherings and gifting ahead. Use your coupon or Macy's card and take an extra 30% off the latest trends, new arrivals, and the best brands like Karl Lagerfeld Paris, Steve Madden, Hotel Collection, and more. And get 15% off beauty, too. Plus, get free shipping with any $25 purchase today at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
You're listening to Election Talk with attorney Kerry Harper on Radio Free 102.3 KJLH.
Hello. We're back at it, about to close out Election Talk. Just want to thank the wonderful Dorian and LJ for holding down the show today. And James Farr, you're on the line. Can you tell the people where they can find you if they want to reach you?
At James Farr Live across all social platforms and LA Progressive.
All right. Thanks so much, James. I appreciate you. Also,
Absolutely.
Last week we had the Senators. That was a fun show. We had Michelle Chambers and Laura Richardson. If you're in District 35, please listen to those podcasts. If I was in District 5, I'd vote for Michelle Chambers, but don't tell anybody. Both ladies were wonderful, but that's just me. Hey, I'm Kerry Harper here at Election Talk. You can reach me at Harper for Justice on Instagram. And you guys have a wonderful day, actually, because I'm going to be back tomorrow morning, right? Yeah, tomorrow morning at 5:30, 102.3 Radio Free KGLH, because we are you.